What's going on, everybody out there? This is the Information Man doing vertical style. Let me know if you can hear me clearly through my mic out there in the chat room with those that are listening, because for some reason I'm not getting the feedback that I need in my ear set. But I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. The sound is fine. Put sevens in the chat room. Say yes, you can. Clearly, okay. It's just something on my end. I'm used to being able to hear the power of the mic, the feedback when I'm talking. So I'm going to have to fix something on my Rodecaster Pro to get that working right. But as long as you always can hear me. Now, look, this is a vertical video. I decided to do a vertical video. I will be doing some of these vertical videos during the week because this vertical video not only will go into regular YouTube, but it also goes into the shorts feed as well. So we'll pick up some initial folks there. I'm going to go into this using critical thinking skills. You might have heard this. There's been some more rumor about Nolan Wells. I'm going to say that this has not been 100% proven. It's speculative. I do have another video. Won't play the whole video, but I do have another video of the judge, Carlos Moore. He's been going at it on Facebook, on his Facebook page, talking about this case. He will bring up the issue about the pool situation. I'm going to show you some clips. I also have some names of these individuals because they're trying to scrub themselves of the internet in terms of their role or in this situation with Nolan Wells. A friend of Nolan Wells has come out and said that nobody would ever hurt Nolan, that people shouldn't say this, but we don't know. Now, we have the autopsy that we're still waiting for, that I'm looking forward to know, because that's going to answer a lot of our curiosities, a lot of our issues and what have you. Okay. So thank you for those of you, Alicia, I see you there. You guys can hear me. That was my biggest concern about this whole setup I've got right here. But we're going to get into this. You're going to get something out of this program, even if it's a short program tonight. Okay. Now, getting to what we need to get to is Nolan. Okay. And the question we have to ask ourselves, what happened to Nolan? What is the truth? We're hearing that he was either on the island or he wasn't on the island or he left the island. The girl that he was talking to said that he was leaving the island. I said that the other day, but then the people he came with, they made the claim that no, Nolan said that he was coming back with us. So which is it? What is it, everybody? Which is it? We got to find out the truth. We need the truth. We need the facts. Facts is we know that he went there with some of his white friends. You see them on the boat there. Okay. Here is another one of his friends right here on the boat, or what we call friends, right? We do know from his best friend, who is black, that they have a sort of a situation where they say, hey, in our community, it's normal to see black kids with white kids. It's no big deal, right? But we still don't, and this is the thing. If you have real friends, your real friends don't leave you behind. You go to an island and then you get left behind. Something happens. The mother is trying to find out. This is my question. Why didn't any of these so-called friends of Nolan, why didn't they ever reach out to the family first? And why, and I must say this, why did the father, I believe he's the stepfather, but he's the father. Why did the father and the mother have to go to one of these kids' house, Jack's? And I want to show you, and I've showed you these pictures, but these are the names, everybody. I'm going to put these names up here. And you need to know the names. I want you to look at this right now. This is off of social media post. This is off a social media post. And you've got Jax, who I told you is the one that the father went to Jack's house trying to find out what was going on with him having keys, and that the father said that he was lied to by these youngsters, that he was angry about how they went about lying to him. And then all of a sudden they found the very thing he was looking for, which was keys. So that's Jax. Then you have Eric. Then you have Wyatt Pryor. You have Warren Hudson. I told you about Warren Hudson. Warren Hudson is the son of the judge who came out with a statement claiming that, oh, we were on a boat that had mechanical problems. That's why Nolan left. And that's suspicious because what was she? She was out there with these kids. What was going on? And she, along with her son, has scrubbed, her and her son have scrubbed themselves from social media. Now, you can't technically scrub yourself altogether. If they do a serious investigation, they could find whatever was said by each other online, or what these kids are talking about to each other online, whatever they were writing prior to scrubbing themselves. But they got themselves scrubbed off very quickly. And the judge herself claimed that she's good friends. And I said this the other day. It's why I'm repeating these things, because this is very important, everybody. It's why I'm repeating this, because this is a serious situation. Okay, this in my estimate, this is serious. She claimed to be friends with Nolan's mother, who you see to the right, that they went to high school together, and that she put out a statement on Facebook saying how her heart was with the family and what have you. But they lawyered up. They've scrubbed themselves, or at least shut down their social media. And I have to say, there's something suspicious about this whole case as it goes deeper and deeper, and there's more things coming out. Now, the whole situation about the pool, let me put this up here. The whole situation about the pool. New evidence drops photos showing Nolan Willis alive at a pool party after leaving Horn Island. The streets are talking. Now, this is speculation, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have any proof that this is actually true. Okay? I just want to make sure that we keep that 100% clear, that this is not confirmed as 100% true. It's a speculation because someone has dropped this photo who said, now we don't know if this was taken before 4th of July, on 4th of July, prior. So I'm not going to say that, yes, 100%. I'm asking the question. That's why I said in the title of this video, was Nolan Willis at a pool party? Did he go back and go to a pool party? This is the running theory that people have about this situation. And I'm going to show you some more about this. This is the running theory that people have. This is the running theory, and I'm not going to say that it's the truth. It's a speculation. The running theory that people are making on social media, TikTok and Facebook and all over the place, is that if that is an actual photograph of the day in question of Nolan in a pool party on the day in question, then it leads one to believe that if it's actually him, and Ben Crump and his people put this out on his social media, and from what I'm hearing, Ben Crump is sort of getting on his folks in his camp about putting this out, right? But just to say, let's say if, let's not say, but let's say if that is the day in question, then one would say, wow, did he actually lose his life on the island? Or did he lose his life somehow, some way, going to a pool party, allegedly, speculatively? Did he lose his life there? And then could someone had taken his body and brought it back to the island? I don't know. It's speculative, folks. It's just speculative. I'm not saying it's 100% the facts. It's speculative, but that's one of the running theories that people are putting out there. So here's a little bit closer look at this. So Nolan is right there. He's the blackest thing in the pool. It almost reminds me of when you eat Raisin Bran cereal and you end up being the blackest thing is the raisins at the bottom of the bowl where you have nothing but white milk. So that's him there, or at least that's what people believe. The question is, did the party happen before the July 4th? Did it happen weeks ago? Did it happen on the same day? That's what we're trying to figure out. That's what's being speculated out there. So I just want to make sure that I put it on the record that I'm not saying that what you saw there is a factual fact, but it is certainly something that's got people talking, got people wondering what's going on in this whole situation. Okay. But I want y'all to remember these names, okay, that I put up here on the screen. We've got Jax. These are the people that he went out there with that he's supposed to be friends with. Morgan Simeon, Warren Hudson, Wyatt Pryor, Eric, okay, Eli Jax, who would be, I believe, it's one of these guys right here that he was on the boat with, right? One of the guys that he was on the boat with. I think it might be this guy right here that's Jack. I think this might be the guy. I've been saying, and I want to correct some things. I've been saying that it's Jax is the guy on the right, possibly. But we know that one or two of these guys did not want to give the father the keys, and that just looks bad enough. Okay, now let me get to the lawyer, Mr. Carlos, but I want to read something to you guys too. This is related to the pool party that you're seeing right here. Someone who's claiming that they know these parties that are involved put out a post on social media. Once again, we can't confirm that this is 100% the facts, but this is someone that's claiming to know these people that were involved. It says right here, bro, Nolan did not get into a fight at the island. It was our other friend, Nolan and Wyatt. And I just named that name, Wyatt Pryor, who I just named. Yeah, Wyatt Pryor, who I just named right here on this list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. He goes on to say that Nolan and Wyatt did get into a skirmish with each other, a little bit of a, altercation with each other. Right after that, not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone and even was trying to be hard, Nolan was definitely screaming, giving me my effing phone back, you in. What's wrong with you? So they all calmed down so that when he hit it to even house, because he was throwing a pool party. I'm going to say this again. He claimed that he calmed down so that when we hit it to a house, because they were throwing a pool party. So basically, after that incident happened, they were hitting to the house where they had the pool party, which you've seen on here, right here, folks. Right there. Then you've got this situation right here where you've got this so-called pool party. We hit it to the pool party. So yes, Nolan came to the party, and yes, we was drinking, but Wyatt and Eve and Morgan and Andrew, I think Evans is the guy's name. That's what it was. It was Evans. So when we hit it to Evans' house party, let me correct what I just said. I want to make sure I get this right. When we hit it to Evans' house, because he was throwing a pool party. So yes, Nolan came to the party, and yes, we were drinking, but Wyatt and Evans and Morgan and Andrew was really high, and I think they were trying to get lit. Okay, trying some of as well as, but yes, they got into it again at the pool party. It did not end until almost 1 a.m. I know Evan's mom kicked us all out once they started fighting. It was Andrew and Evan and Wyatt, and Warren was basically recording and laughing and saying, get him, get him. All I could hear was Nolan screaming, Mom. So yes, I tried helping them. His mom came out screaming, yelling, drunk, make us leave, yelling, drunks, make us leave, and was saying she was going to call the cops on us if we did not leave her house. But they did not let Nolan leave, and Nolan was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over the backside, gasping for air, spitting up blood. This is what someone is claiming took place at the pool party, that we don't even know if this even happened at all, even happened on the day of July 4th when he went missing. There go the basket dough right there in the back. We don't know if this is all just someone making up stories or speculative, but it's out there. People believe this could be true. We don't know. So I just wanted to dot my I's and cross my T's to make sure you all know where I'm coming from. What's going on, Yalpo? We got a lot of great people here tonight in the chat room. Let me go ahead and once again remind you of Mr. Carlos Moore. And I did some more research on him. The reason why he's not a judge in Mississippi, where this whole thing took place, is because of racism. He said on a stream that I'm going to play for you, the part I cut some of it, that he had to resign and retire from being a judge in Mississippi because they didn't want him to be a judge in Mississippi because he spoke out on black issues. He was very critical of what was happening in Mississippi, the racism, what have you. And as a result of that, his own white colleagues, forced him out of Mississippi as a judge. Now the brother is practicing law as a lawyer in Tennessee, lives in Atlanta, as I told you the other day. But he said very clearly that he was kicked out because of the racism, the discrimination, and he saw a lot of foul stuff going on in their criminal justice system that ain't really justice. This is why we have to be concerned, ladies and gentlemen, about the truth when it comes to the Nolan Wells situation. Will the family get the justice that they deserve? Because Judge Carlos, who was a judge in Mississippi for over 6.5 years, or 5 or 6.5 years, where he put out warrants. And he said in the other video that I did that there should have been arrests, that those kids that were involved should have all been brought to the police station, should have all been interrogated in one way or another. He said people who, if there was liquor or something that people were using, people should be cited for giving underage kids drugs, or not drugs, but the alcohol, the liquor, if there was liquor involved, right? He was saying even the people driving the boats, if they saw that these kids were a little overlit, that they should even be questioned. He's saying everybody should be completely questioned. Okay, let me let you hear from Judge Carlo Moore once again. This is a different video, and he's going to mention the issue around the pool party. And like myself, he also says, he didn't say it's a fact. He says that's what's being put out there. Listen to Brother Carlos again. This man has experience as a judge, and he is a lawyer, and he's breaking some things down.
So I want to give you my unfiltered opinion tonight. And so, been several new developments, several new allegations that deserve to be investigated, and they need to be investigated by those with jurisdiction, and there needs to be concurrent investigations going on in the search for truth for.
I want to read what this sister is saying right here, and I thank you all that are here. If he was spitting up blood, would not that indicate something was wrong with Nolan? Why would you leave him there? Right. I'm agreeing with you. Hello, everybody in the chat room again. I'm agreeing with you. If this is true, why would you leave someone like this there? You're absolutely right. I'm going to be putting your comments up on the board. This is a vertical video, and I'm able to do some cool things just like I do with my regular videos that I do. But I will be doing some vertical videos like this from time to time to get into the other algorithms of the YouTube short area. But let's continue with what he's saying.
The matter involving the death of Nolan Wells. So let's get started. This morning, most of us awoke to the news that there is an allegation that Nolan Wells may have actually arrived on the mainland after leaving Horn Island.
Thank you, Queen.
By a person who's named in the photo that says that he was spotted at a house at a pool party, and it is believed that that picture may have been taken sometime shortly before 1 a.m. And it is believed, if the allegation is correct, that that pool party may have been in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And so now we believe that based on that allegation, not only does the Jackson County Sheriff's Department have jurisdiction to investigate the death of Nolan Wells, now the Ocean Springs Police Department has jurisdiction to investigate the death of Nolan Wells.
Let me just say this. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing vertical like every time. I'm just going to I'm going to do vertical maybe once a week or something like that. I know it's a little weird to get used to. But you know, most of my videos are in the horizontal, format. He's making a good point here, ladies and gentlemen, because he's saying that if the pool party is true, right now it's completely speculative. If it's true, it opens up a door for another jurisdiction within those counties to also do an investigation. However, once again, we're talking about Mississippi, right?
And so I am hereby calling on the Ocean Springs Police Chief and the Ocean Springs Municipal Prosecutor to do their jobs. There should be concurrent investigations going on. If the Jackson County Sheriff's Department believes it has jurisdiction, it should continue to do its investigation, because we do know that part of this investigation involves.
Now, another CG, brother, you making very good sense. Do the police have custody of the footage and the camera it came from? I don't know, because we haven't heard much from the police. They haven't given us any press conferences. What's up with the press? Let me say this to you guys, everybody again. What's up with the press conferences? They haven't. You would think that they would give us some type of press conference by now to give us an update on what their, at least the progress in the case. Don't you find that? I don't think anyone's brought this up too. Why haven't they had any press conference? I'm talking about the police, the sheriff's department down there. I find that highly suspicious that they haven't given us any update. And we haven't heard any reports of any of these kids that were there being questioned or brought down to the police department. At least they haven't publicly told us this. So good point. Let me put something else up here too. Let me put this up here too. Yes, just because they post the pics that day doesn't mean anything. Go through the person's phone who took the photo, then you would get the data. Yeah, right. And keep this in mind. Even if they do a proper investigation, even if these kids or someone deleted, because we know that they're saying that Nolan's phone was deleted of text messages, according to the family, right? According to the mother. According to the family. I want to be fair here. According to the mother, according to the family. And if this is true, then you have to wonder if the other kids have tried to scrub their phones, if any of these kids are guilty of anything. But if you have a proper investigation, they should be able to retrieve all of that stuff, even if you try to scrub your phone. That's if you get a proper investigation, but we're talking about Mississippi, okay? And that's the problem right there. That's what really concerns me. Let's go back to the judge.
Things that happen off the Gulf Coast, about 10 miles off the Gulf Coast. So all of the appropriate agencies should be investigating. But the new development is that he was allegedly spotted at a home with the pool of one of his friends. And it's a very specific person that says that she saw this. I've never talked to the person, but that person needs to be spoken to. And there are several people photographed, identified.
That's the person who wrote this statement that I was just reading to you all. He is absolutely right. If any of this is true, these people who are putting out this information in social media, the police down there need to be talking to these folks to validate whether they're fake, phony, BSing around, and hold them accountable for lying if they are, or if they're telling the truth, they need to be questioned about what they know, what they don't know, and what they do know. Good point, Judge. Good point.
And the photograph that needs to be spoken to that was in the that attended the pool party, and we can get down to the bottom of whether or not Nolan Wells made it back to land. How did he get to land? Who did he ride with? What time he arrived at the pool party? There are some disturbing things that happened at the pool party, according to this alleged witness. But while I don't know the veracity of the allegations, I do know now that the Ocean Springs Police Department should have jurisdiction to investigate.
Ocean Springs.
The municipal boundaries. That's, if I have heard correctly, that the young men were graduates of Ocean Springs High School, so they could not be students at Ocean Springs High School at any time if they were not residents of Ocean Springs. So that's how I've concluded that Ocean Springs Police Department should have jurisdiction now to investigate. At the same time, I'm calling on the Jackson County District Attorney to
Jay the informant
investigating. The district attorney has its own investigative staff, or should have, and they should be investigating. The district attorney does not have to wait on Jackson County Sheriff's Department or the Ocean Springs Police Department. It can do its concurrent investigation, and it could present the matter to a grand jury at any time once it feels it has determined or gathered enough information. So 3 different law enforcement agencies is what I'm calling on to do their jobs. If the young lady that has gone on Facebook's allegations are correct, there should be arrests this week.
Let me just say this right here. Yes, it's all speculation at this point. The autopsy will prove it all out. Remember, the family is getting a private autopsy that's being paid for by Colin Kaepernick. The state is going to do their autopsy, but the family is getting an independent autopsy. And if the autopsy shows that there was something that happened to him that was brought on from someone doing something, it changes everything. Right now, you can say, yes, that it's hearsay, but hearsay can become facts. And what we need, and I'm waiting for that, is the autopsy report that will show. Because remember, the sheriff's department down there in Jackson, Mississippi is claiming that he was drowned, and they were making these claims before they even did their full investigation. So you can say that, oh, people on social media are speculating, but why haven't the police, who made a statement of that nature, and even the judge here said he should have never made that type of statement, they had already said that they believed that it was a drowning. How are you going to say that before you even get your own state autopsy report? Because even if he drowned, the autopsy could show that someone might have done something to him to make him, because the mother said he was athletic, he could swim. Then remember this. How do you explain that they left him? How do you explain the mixed information that both the girl he talked to versus what they say? How do you explain the father and the family going to the house of one of these guys, I think Jack's, trying to retrieve car keys, and they didn't want to give him the stuff, his car keys? They acted like they didn't even have Nolan's belongings. How do you explain that? And the father said that they lied to him, that they were disrespectful in the way that they handled stuff when he went to go get his son's keys. Why didn't they go to the parents and return the keys? Why didn't they go to Nolan's parents' house and say, oh, we've got Nolan's keys. Oh, we got Nolan's phone. Oh, we're so sorry about what happened to your son. None of this has happened. The family hasn't gotten any type of anyone from these groups that he was hanging out with who claimed to be his friends. People keep saying, well, these was his friends. Well, if you got friends like that, I don't want enemies. Your real friends should be people that are willing to show up when things go wrong. They should be able to show up to your parents' house. They should be able to look your parents in the eye and not lie to them about items that you might have that he had on this person when he was on the island. I want somebody to explain that to me. Because the father didn't say that was speculative. He said that's what they lied to him in his face. So I want you to answer that one. Give me some clarification on that one. Can anyone give me clarification on that? Let's get back to the judge. Let's get back to Judge Carlos Moore.
For assault. She has recounted that she witnessed an assault, and she was very specific in naming the 3 individuals who did the assault on Nolan Wells. And she also told who videoed the assault, and she told what that individual videoing was saying while the assault was going on. She's also named an adult that allegedly had all the young people to get out of the pool and leave.
Right, that was all in what I had read here. The pool party didn't end until almost 1 a.m. I know Evan's mom kicked us all out once they started fighting. It was Andrew and Evans and Wyatt and Warren was basically recording and laughing. Let's get back to it.
Home in the early morning hours of July the 5th. So that adult needs to be questioned.
Yep, that adult.
Every person that's
the adult that I was reading, if this is true, if there was a pool party and this really happened and there was an adult, and I was reading about it on that statement there from the person that claimed that they knew what took place, they was there, then he's right, needs to be questioned. If any of this is true, if it happened on day of.
Identified in that pool should be questioned. It's not rocket science, but there are allegations of assault, and there's allegations of a witness, and those allegations need to be further developed and investigated. There's also allegation that everyone left that home. Most of the young people left the home. They did not live there except Nolan Wells, and when she left, there was he was leaning over the pool, and blood was coming from it.
Right. And I read that earlier, but they did not let Nolan leave. Nolan was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over beside it, gasping for air and spitting up blood. But now his mom knows I just got off this is, once again, we don't know if this is facts. This is what's been put out there, but the judge is right. If this is true, the investigators have to start questioning everybody that was in that damn pool that night. Everybody, including the adult, if this is true. It's right now, it's alleged. That's all we can go on.
Mouth. So that is a very specific.
Thank you, everybody that's here tonight.
We looked into. So I'm asking and really demanding that the Ocean Springs Police Department does its job and start a concurrent investigation. Justice can no longer wait. Justice has been delayed long enough, and so I am straight out of patience at this point. Straight out of patience, and various crimes have been alleged, and at this point,
Let me read what you're saying right here. You're making very good points, ladies and gentlemen. Why did his best friend not hang out with Nolan? Did Nolan not invite him? Was he next friend? No, Nolan's best friend already admitted and had a conversation, talked to TMZ, but his best friend had already said that they were there. He was there and met Nolan or saw Nolan at 4:00. They got on different boats. They weren't on the same boat. His best friend got on a different boat from Nolan. And at some point in time, he was able to meet up with Nolan at 4:00, but he did not say that he was with Nolan the whole time. Okay? I think his friend went to the island, was there for a little bit, but they, for whatever reason, this is his friend, because if his friend was with him the whole time, he would have said it. Now, his friend told us, let me just put myself back up here. The friend told us that he didn't think it was a racial situation because, why? I said it the other day. These Z generation are not Gen Xers. They're not baby boomers. They grow up. They're comfortable being around kids of other different races. These kids grow up together around different race of people, and they don't see race in the way we older people see race. I'm 56 years old. We see race through a different lens than they do because we have experienced things that some of these younger kids have never experienced, okay? And he said that it was quite common. He said it when he was talking to TMZ for them to be hanging out with white kids, be the only black kid, be the only this and that. It's very commonplace. He said the last time he saw Nolan alive, we got to be honest here. The last time he saw Nolan alive was at 4:00. In the beginning of this whole situation, as I say this again, they were saying that the last time he was seen alive was around 3 or 3:30 when he went to meet with the girl. His boys claim that he was going to stay there on the island with the girl. The girl says no. Nolan said he was going back to the boat. So what's the truth and what's the lie? I've been saying this for every video that I've been talking about this issue. What's the truth and what's the lie? I want to know. Somebody help me. Yalpo, thank you for that super chat, brother. Yalpo says, I'm glad the family is holding back the autopsy results. The country is waiting for the independent autopsy results. Yes. If the autopsy results conflict with the sheriff's department down there in Jackson, if the autopsy reports show that there's some foul play here, it's going to blow this whole thing off the lid, and it's going to vindicate those of us who have been saying there's something that doesn't smell right about this whole situation. Yalpo, you're completely correct, brother. I'll give you a clap on that. Thank you, Yalpo. And Jay the Informant, what's up, my man? Good to see you here. Jay the Informant says right. Let me just go back into here. Alicia says right. It's good to see you here. Let me see. Blaze Brown is in the house, and Blaze Brown says allegedly Nolan spoken friend did not hang with the group. Right. I was saying that he didn't hang with the group. He saw Nolan there, but for whatever reason, he didn't hang with the group, and he was there with somebody else that was a friend of. He didn't hang with Nolan. Now, why he didn't hang out with him, I don't know. Why he didn't stay back with Nolan, I don't know. We would have to ask him. But this is the thing that's crazy. His best friend claims that nobody has come to talk to him. That's what he said. Remember when he did the interview with TMZ, and they asked him, the TMZ people asked him, has anybody talked to you from the police in Jackson? They haven't asked him anything. He said that Ben Crump when they asked him, has Ben Crump talked to you? He said no, but that's what he said a week ago. I don't know if since that time, Ben Crump's people have already talked to that young man, or if the police have talked to him, the sheriff have talked to him. But I do find it weird. That's why I'm concerned about if the justice is going to get there, if the kid's going to get justice, because why would they have not talked to this friend who said he was there and saw Nolan at 4:00 and said they had left their phones at one point in time on a boat that I guess they must have got on. They must have got there on different boats, got on another boat. I don't know. Everything doesn't make sense. But check this out. Even his best friend said that things don't make sense and add up. Everybody keeps leaning on the fact that the best friend said that it wasn't anything racial, right? But nobody wants to lean on the fact that this kid said himself, his own best friend said himself, that none of this stuff is adding up right. It doesn't make any sense. They beat that kid, man, and put his body back at that lake. That's the alleged statement that I said about the pool incident, right? If that was true, that's some of the theories that people are running with, that people believe to be true. I don't know. It's my opinion. It could be. It's my opinion. I can't say it's facts because we're still waiting on the autopsy report. Because if they do a good autopsy report, the autopsy report should be able to show that his body was moved. If that is factual, but we don't know yet. Okay? Let me go with JD Informant, who says this. Did the body have bruises? That's another thing that we don't know. But I would like to know. I would clearly like to know. What's going on, Mo? Delt? What's up, bro? What's up? What you think about this whole thing, Mo? Let me know what you think about it. There is power in his name. Maybe he drowned. Maybe someone random outside of his friends did something to him. Who knows? Nothing points to murder. Murder's a legal term as of yet. Well, how do we don't know that until the autopsy report comes back, and the sheriff's department already jumped out of the woodwork and said it was drowning the day that they found his body without doing a full investigation themselves. Yet we haven't heard them do a press conference and say, hey, we've interviewed this person, we interviewed these kids, those kids. That's a concern that I have, because we're dealing with Mississippi. If you understand where I'm coming from, put sevens in the chat room. If you understand what Mississippi is about, what their history is. And I've already told some of you, and I'm not trying to be smart or an ass with anybody here, but I already mentioned that the judge here, Carlos, let me take this off. Carlos Moore is no longer practicing as a judge in Mississippi because he was speaking on black issues and talking about the injustice of the system there. And they basically ran him out. They basically criticized him, tried to delegitimize him as a judge because he was talking about things that the rest of his colleagues didn't want to deal with. That's why he got the hell out of Mississippi, where he grew up at. And that's why he said the system there is corrupt. The system there is not good. And that's why are they going to give the young man a fair shake here? Because that's all his family is asking for, y'all, is a fair shake. Let's get back to the judge.
There needs to be some arrest this week for the crimes that's been alleged and sufficiently alleged. You have eyewitness accounts of some things. And the police does not have to have a affidavit from the people that are making the allegations. They have to be interviewed by the police, and the police sign an affidavit and take it to a judge and get the warrant.
See, he knows what he's talking about because this brother was a judge in Mississippi. He said that he gave, in the other video I did, he said that that's what he did. He gave out a lot of warrants. Okay. He did a lot of bench warrants on people. He gave police and law enforcement the right to do searches and seizures and what have you when they put everything right together in an affidavit to be able to prove that they had factual evidence to go ahead and do these things. So that's what he's saying here. He knows what he's talking about.
For arrest. So we are asking law enforcement to simply do their jobs. Get the arrest warrants for those crimes that you know that there's probable cause that a crime has been committed already. We do believe that this week will be the week that the autopsy reports report come out. We are now on day 8 since the alleged since the disappearance of Nolan Wells, and so there's been sufficient time for the autopsies to be done, if the information I've heard is correct, and we should learn the results of those autopsy reports. I would expect this week that there should be a lot of movement in this case. Once the autopsy reports are revealed, I believe that should lead us where we go from here.
Right. What have I been saying, everybody? The autopsy report will lead us to wherever this case will take us. Once the autopsy reports are put out there, and I agree with someone in the chat room, I think the family should go slow. They should let things build up. If they find out that their son was indeed had his life taken, that he was unalived by someone or someone's, I think they should hold on to it for a while. Let all the haters out there, all the people who want to say, "Oh, this ain't no," let that energy fester so that they can hit them with a big fat boom. The autopsy report will end all of our speculation. It will end all the innuendo. It would allow us the independent. I'm not concerned about the state. I'm talking about the independent. Because with them getting money from Kaepernick and people like Tyler Perry, that means they got big money. They got good money to get the top people to do it. It will end us from having to speculate, and will give us more focus as to where to go with what we're talking about here. I'm man enough to be able to say the truth in that manner. Okay, let me see what you're saying here, Bear. I believe they're threatened. Let me see. I believe they threatened his best friend. Looks how scared he was. Let's be honest. Who knows? I mean, just who knows? Let me see. I heard that the black guy was trying to grab the girl, so the white boys had to step in. I don't know where you heard that from. I ain't heard nothing like that. See, that's that typical Rosewood. That's that typical Tulsa, Oklahoma, Emmett Till type stuff. Black boy touch white girl, black boy, and then this what? No. There's nobody that has been putting out anything about Nolan attacking anybody, Nolan messing with a girl. The only thing we know about a girl is the girl that he stayed back to talk to, who said that Nolan was getting ready to get back on the boat to go back to the mainland. But then his so-called buddy said that no, Nolan said that he wanted to stay there. That's what you should be dealing with. The mix, the different stories that are being told are the concern here. The seeds of Cain is very much alive. What's going on, brother? Yeah, good point. Good point. We got Champion for Poor. Thank you for coming over. Thank you. Let me see. Outside Views come in the house saying thumbs up. And yeah, thank you for thumbsing up the video and sharing it. I'm doing a vertical video tonight. I haven't done a vertical video. This is only the second vertical video I've done. And I have my streaming software can allow me to do all types of stuff and special effects, the whole 9 yard. And I said, let me go ahead and do the vertical video. I've been wanting to do a vertical video. Plus, doing the vertical video allows me to not only be seen in the regular format, but also when people look at their YouTube shorts, the vertical videos go into the YouTube shorts where people can see your video when they're flipping through the video, the shorts feed. So it's hitting both at the same time, but going into one video. Not let's see what we got here. Jacqueline Net. Oh, what's going on? Jacqueline, greetings, information man. Greetings to you. Thank you for coming over. Thank you. Let me read some more statements here. And no disrespect. Let me see what you're saying right here. No disrespect. Let me see. And no disrespect, brother. I'm just challenging everything. Challenging. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you're not being disrespectful. See, I don't have a problem with people having a difference of opinion if they're being respectful. But I don't like when people come into my chat room and they troll and they say trolling things, right? Like, that's what you black people get and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that. If people can have an honest dialogue and say, hey, this is speculation because we don't know yet, because we haven't had the autopsy report come out. I can't hate on you for saying that. I can't say get out of my chat room. No, that's a fact. And I even said it myself, right? It's a fact, but we'll see. You said no disrespect, brother, but I'm just challenging everything, playing the devil's advocate, nothing but love. Yeah, I get it. I'm not mad at you. I have no problem with people having I don't care if people that subscribe to me, like my channel and rock with me. Just because you rock with me don't mean that you have to agree with everything I say. I'm just simply saying you can disagree with anything that I say, but you can disagree in a respectful manner and just say, hey, this is how I see it. But if you disrespect me in a trolling kind of manner where you're saying like personal stuff towards me, then that's trolling. And then that's when I get a bit of, I say to everybody out there, the mods, get them out of here, right? So I got no problem with that. You know, I'm not expecting everybody to have the same belief. Look, I know that there's people who follow my channel who don't believe that Carmelo Anthony is innocent, right? And I'm pretty sure those same people watch my channel, but maybe they didn't watch the Carmelo Anthony videos that I did, or maybe they did, but maybe they said, hey, I don't agree with info on this, right? There's going to be videos that you guys don't agree with me on. I understand that, right? Because you are all individuals who think for yourself and have a brain and you can think critically, right? But we can all be on the same page about some issues, right? And what we are on the same page about is that we still need what? An autopsy report. Yalpo says those white tee boys have more stories than a life. Yeah, than a life. You're right about that, man. More lies than a man. I like that you said that, Yalpo. Oh, thank you, Outside View, for the super chat. Thank you. Outside View said, we appreciate you for sharing the truth. Yeah, thank you. Let me do you some super chat music. Let's do some super chat celebration. I got it set up. Let's go.
Thank you for the super chat.
Time to run it up. I wake up. Yeah.
I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no
Rest.
Might crash, might
Wreck.
but first die.
Stretch.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no
Rest.
Might crash, might
Wreck.
but first die.
Stretch.
Tell 'em run it up.
9
out of 10, roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one.
All right, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate everybody that's here watching. This is, man, I really appreciate you guys tonight. Let me go. I don't know why I had my stream on over here on my other computer. I don't know why it switched me off the YouTube and took me somewhere else. It's crazy. Let me put this back in here. Let's get back. I'm almost finished with the presentation. I'm not going to hold you guys all night. I know it's late. I do like these nighttime videos. I'm going to probably start doing nighttime videos at least once during the week when there's an issue that I want to get to a lot sooner than waiting for the weekend. Because my channel is kind of like a weekend channel. Let's get back to the judge. Here we go.
But the witness today that says that he was in the pool said that he was assaulted. Also said there was another argument about the phone not being in his possession, someone taking his phone and not giving it back. That needs to be investigated, and someone should be
Facts.
Arrested for theft or larceny, or with a simple larceny, grand larceny. Someone should be arrested, or some people should be arrested for assault, if that is a true allegation from that witness and then those others that were witnessing it. But to continue not to follow these leads and not to make an arrest, it is unacceptable at this point. It's simply unacceptable. We know and we have accepted it to.
Good point. Why lawyer up if you're innocent? Now, the judge said here in his other video, he understands why they lawyered up, but he did find it interesting that they lawyered up so fast and they scrubbed their social media very fast, or at least they shut their social media down very quickly. Right after this happened, just within no time.
Be true for so long that
that's right, RJ.
There's an immediate arrest, and no one jumps up and down in those instances when there are immediate arrests. The persons just simply go through the system, and no one cries that it's unconstitutional or not. So what's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
That's right, Yalpo. That's right.
That I feel led to start a nonprofit group entitled Dads for Justice, and it would be for dads throughout the United States and around the world. If you have at least one child and you are primarily a man.
Let me read what you just said here. The crazy part is it was already red flags when the dad went to the friend's house and the kids were so nonchalant, like he didn't know where it was. Because wait a minute though, Bear. He lied though. They lied to the father. Let me put the father and the family back up here. Remember, they lied to him. They lied to the family. Let's keep that in mind. The family was lied to. Even though they act like they didn't know anything, the father walked away saying he felt disrespected because they lied to him. That's another red flag, just like you said. That's facts. Let's get back to the judge.
Of color, black or brown, you will be invited into this group and welcome into the group. Others that have concerns, similar concerns, will be welcome into the group after appropriate vetting. Everyone will be appropriately vetted to be in the Dads for Justice. But as men, we have to take our rightful places. Our communities are under attack. I have not one but two children, and they are the most important people to me.
So he's starting an organization, y'all. He's starting an organization for dads against violence against their kids. So he's just not talking about it, but he's trying to do something about it. I wish the brother all the success. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to see, because I'm following him on his Facebook page. I'm gonna try to see if I can contact brother Judge Carlos Moore. Would y'all like me to do that? Put sevens in the chat room. I'm gonna see if I can get him on my show and interview him. I don't know if he's been on anybody else's show for an interview, but I'm going to see if I'm going to reach out to the judge and see if I can get, because I want to talk to him more about what happened to him as it relates to what they did to him in Mississippi with the racism and trying to run him out as a judge because he was standing up for black folks. That's an area that I want to dive into with him. I want to touch on the Nolan stuff if I can get him on. And especially if the autopsy report comes back that something did happen, I definitely got to get him on. But we'll see. I got to take it slow because we still need to get that autopsy report before I start jumping the gun. But either way, just to get him on my show to talk about what they did to him in Mississippi would be very good information to share with all of you. let's get back to there's only a little bit left of what he has to say here. Let's get back to it.
On earth. And I would believe that any dad feels the same way. And it is our duty to protect our precious treasures, our young people. And so I'm asking the men, the dads that may be watching around the country and around the world to email me at carlosmorelaw@gmail.com. carlosmorelaw@gmail.com if you're interested in becoming
I want to talk to you about that, brother. I'm going to contact
this
you.
new group, Dads for Justice.
Dads
We
for
know
Justice.
that what we have had has not been working. Trayvon Martin was killed, I believe, in 2012. This is now 14 years later, and this stuff continues to happen repeatedly, and we see the same refrain over and over, and it's not getting any better. So we're gonna have to try something different. And so I'm calling on all of my educated brothers, my strong brothers that do not mind standing in the gap to come together and let's figure this thing out. I know the Constitution. I know what we can do lawfully and what we cannot do. And we are going to stand and we are going to demand justice for our precious treasures, our children. Because it may be your child today, it could be my child tomorrow. And an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As I said it, I'm tired. I'm tired. Enough is enough.
I want to say much respect to the brother. I like what he's about to do, what he's trying to do. I'm going to contact him and see what I can, if I can get him on the show. We'll see. We'll see how everything works out. If anything, I'd like to talk to him about the Dads for Justice and the what they did to him in Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring something else up. He does. Nolan had a friend who's now come out. We got the best friend who spoke to TMZ, but we have another friend who came out and spoke out. And a friend of Nolan Wells says that nobody would ever hurt him. And let's read what he had to say, y'all. Let's read what he had to say. Let's check it out here. Shelton, a friend who was on the July 4th boat trip, has broke his silence to defend the group, stating that nobody would have hurt 18-year-old Nolan. That's what he's saying. That's his opinion, y'all. We don't know how true that is because we got to get that autopsy report, but we'll see. Nolan Wells. Sheldon insisted that a viral beach fight video has been misunderstood and that Wells actually chose to stay on the island, on the Horn Island without his friends. Okay, but why would he leave his cell phone? And why was the mother finding the cell phone pinning and binging and pinning on mainland? Why would he leave without his cell phone? That doesn't make any sense. He also goes on to say that the group is devastated and maintains that the viral fight video doesn't show Nolan. Meanwhile, the family has retained attorney Ben Crump to conduct an independent autopsy and is seeking more clarity on the timeline. This is what this kid is saying right here, who claims, or no, he's not claiming, he is a friend of Nolan. I want to put him back up here. So he's saying he's his friend. He says nobody in this group would ever hurt Nolan. That's according to his other friend here. That none of these guys would do harm to him. That they all love him. They're all devastated. If they're so devastated, why didn't they go to the parents? Why didn't they go to the parents? Why are they hiding items? Why did some of them hide items? Why did some of them lie to the parents, lie to the father? If they're so devastated, you would think that they would go straight to his parents for support, knock on the door, cry in their arms. See, that's a red flag right there. You would think that they would go to the house and bring any belongings that they have of Nolan back to the parents. But the parent, in this case, the father, had to go to them, knock on their door, and they were lying to him. And then they didn't count on the mother having the GPS system, the 360. Do I need to remind you guys of this again? Check this out.
We want to
get
the phone and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun.
Andrea,
like,
what's going on? Good to see you, sister. Good to see you.
There was absolutely nothing.
Good to see you.
No saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael.
you know.
Did you guys just see what I just showed you? Did you see what I just showed y'all? Did y'all see what I just showed y'all? I just want y'all to put yeses in there. The mother has spoken. She has made it a fact that something is suspiciously going on here. Let me go back into the chat room before I end the stream tonight. Right. Thank you. Deactivate the social media. Yeah, they deactivated the social media. You absolutely right, my sister. Deactivated social media. That Mississippi for real. Yeah, it's Mississippi. You know how they get down out there. What's going on? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all over here. Granny Fat. What's going on, Granny Fat? Yes, thank you. We got my man Yalpo saying these great words right here. I seen people show more concern over a lost cat than these clowns are showing over the loss of their so-called friend. Right. I gave you a clap because you were on point with that statement, Yalpo. Appreciate that statement because you're telling the truth. Let me see. Terry France says, excellent move. Right. The mother, see, they wasn't counting on that. So I'm going to say this again, everybody, because we've heard people say this. I'm going to say this again because I need to say this. I want to put this up here. I need to say this. It was the reports came out again that they say that Nolan wanted to stay back on the island because he wanted to talk to a girl. That girl comes out to the media or comes out to the police or makes a statement and says, yes, she did talk to Nolan, but he said he was planning to go back to the boat, to go back to the mainland. They make the family think that Nolan just wanted to stay on the island. Okay? Let's keep this real here. But then the mother, as you just heard, used the 360 GPS and it's pinging all over the place. It's pinging all over the mainland. She's like, wait a minute. It's showing him on the mainland. But then they find his body, as Crump said, why did the tide blow his body? Why didn't the tide move his body on Sunday? Why didn't his body not show up on Sunday with the tide? Why did it show up on Monday? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that right now. And then the mother discovers that, hey, my son didn't come through that door. And then the father has to go to the home and they give him the runaround. Come on, y'all. We was all born at night. Most of us, some of us. But we wasn't born last night. This whole thing is crazy. The whole thing is silly. I want to thank you all for watching the program tonight, giving this program the support that I appreciate. And what I'm going to do is, as you know, most of my video formats are going to be horizontal. If you look at my channel, most of all my stuff is horizontal except for my YouTube shorts. And make sure when this ends that you go over to my YouTube short and look at the video I did about comedian Lanelle going to a radio station, K104 in Dallas. And they were on the show advertising all the other acts that were going to happen over the weekend. She's going to perform over the weekend. And they didn't even say her name. They didn't even give her respect. And she's been in the game for over 30 years. And she had to go. She went off on them. Make sure when this video ends and when you get a chance, go back to my YouTube channel, go into my shorts menu for shorts and look at my latest video on Lanelle. She's out of Oakland. I used to live in Oakland. I want y'all to check that out. But with that said, everybody, we have to think critically about what's going on here, right? And I want to remind everybody, again, I never said that the pool party, that this actually happened on 4th of July. We don't know because no evidence has come out to prove that it happened on 4th of July, it happened before 4th of July, or that it ever happened. All we have to go on is a post from social media from someone who claims that they were there, that they know Nolan, they knew all the parties that involved. Then we had this post that was put out in social media saying, please start naming them publicly. No privacy, no peace. L. Jax, Eric, Wyatt Pryor, Warren Hudson, Morgan Simone here. Solomeyer, whatever the hell, Morgan. These are the names up here right now of the so-called friends that I've just named to you. Morgan, Warren Hudson, Wyatt, Eric. The names are all up here for y'all to see. You can write these names down at your own leisure, but these are the names of these individuals that he knew. Now, before I get out of here, I showed this the other day that I did a video the other day. And I said, what if Nolan was white and everybody he went on a ship with was black? Look at this again. What if the roles were reversed and Nolan was a white kid? You see the white kid right there. And he went out on a ocean trip to an island with all black kids. And he ended up missing after being out with all black kids. You know damn well this is Mississippi. All these black kids would be under investigation. They would all be looked into, their backgrounds. They would all be called into the police department or the sheriff's department to give a written and verbal statement. You know it. And I believe you would already have some arrest. And you would have demands coming from that community, his community, saying Nolan deserves justice. And you would have the haters and even the black sellouts that would tell you what's wrong with the black community. Look at these boys that we raising. They're being raised by single mamas and they're out here unaliving white kids they're supposed to be friends with. You know damn well that would be what people would be saying. Just imagine that potential that could be. And so, you know as well as I know that if it was black kids, when the roles are reversed, it's a different story. It's a different circumstance. It's a different narrative on social media. It's a different narratives in mainstream media. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Put sevens in the chat room if y'all with me. Again, the judge that was there that I think is that needs to be looked into as well is this woman right here, Ashley Cole, whose son Hudson, who's also on that list that I showed you, that was also named on that list. Her son is Warren Hudson. Here he is again. They've already lawyered up. They've already cleaned their social media. They've already shut it down. She did it for her son. She did it. She needs to be interviewed heavily. And remember that when you have these kind of communities, you have white kids who have parents that are judges and lawyers and all sort of stuff and have connections that can sometimes get them out of shit because they have the complexion for the protection. And that's a fact. Well, with that said, everybody, I'm going to say again, we don't know if this is actual fact, what happened in the pool, if this even happened the way they're saying it. But we do know is that we need the autopsy report and we need it quickly. We need to end all speculation on social media and off social media. So I can't wait until Ben Crump and the family put out the statements about the autopsy. Will the autopsy show that there was foul play? You let me know in the comments section, everybody. Will the autopsy show that there was foul play, or will it show that no, there was no foul play, that he did drown? And are we prepared? I must say this. Are we prepared to deal with the potential that it might just be that he drowned, which I don't really believe? Are we prepared, for those of you out there that are haters and skeptics, are you prepared that, yes, that one of his so-called friends or somebody within that crowd or someone or someone's could have potentially did something to him that caused his unaliving? And could there be a potential that the whole issue with the pool party, are you prepared to deal with the fact that the pool party may have happened, just as it's been said, or may not have happened, as it has been speculated? What are you prepared to deal with? Because as Black people, we always are dealing with hearing about our kids having their life taken away. We're already have been used to it. I hate to say this, but it's the truth. We have always had a disposition that when something happens to us, we don't get justice. When something happens to us, people lie and make excuses. When something happens to us, people tell us to calm down, wait for the law to take care of it. And then when we wait for the law to take care of it, when it goes to trial, we get no justice. Even when we have watched video where Black men have been unarmed, or Black women, and they've been taken out of here. Everybody, I appreciate you tonight. Y'all take care. I'm about to get out of here. Share the video and tell somebody that you love them. I thank you, everybody in the chat room. It's been fantastic tonight. Let me know if you like the vertical video. I'm not going to do vertical video every time I go live, but I might do vertical video maybe once or twice every now and then during the week or something, right? Just a little change. Let me read this. Let me read these last statements before I go. So DOD is laughing in there. What's going on, brother? We've got let me see. If there had been 3 Black boys, they would already be arrested. I agree with that. We got Theta Young says, does not matter what color they are until you all find the facts. You're just blowing steam and trying to get people to. Now, I don't know why you had to come and be disrespectful like that. I have said on this stream several times that we're waiting for the autopsy report. We're waiting for things to be factual. I just sat up here and gave a dialogue saying, how would you deal with it if it comes out that it's not true that someone took his life, that he drowned, or if it was true that someone did something to him? I already laid out that scenario. So don't come in the chat room mucking it up, please, because we're being balanced and fair and breaking things down here very fairly. I already speculated, or I already said that the pool situation has not been proven. So please beg your pardon. All right, let's go back into here and read some other things. Okay, Yalpo says, if they were Black, they would have been tried, found guilty, and served 50 years. Yes, they would. We know the history of Mississippi. Okay, we know how Mississippi gets down. Nolan had two parents home, and his father was very active in his right. His look, Nolan was going places in life. Never been the only black person. Never been the only black person in a group. I agree with that. I don't think, given the world that we live in, you don't want to be the only black person in a group. And I have to be honest with that. I'm 56 years, and I know I've seen a lot of shit happen. I would never put myself in that situation personally. Now, everybody, let me just do this. Thank you again for watching the program. Let's get on out of here. Y'all take care. Tell somebody you love them. Share this video on all your social media, your Facebook, everywhere you can share it. Share in your community tab as well. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for the support. It's been wonderful. Take care. Peace. Peace.
Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in the well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
A lesson.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. Like, la, 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 la. Feel it, baby. Stress is all around us. These high ceilings, and I need it, baby. Pressure and make diamonds. I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby. Hurts to see you crying. Know you trying. Ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong. This toxicity, the death of me. I fear the day you gone. The most beautiful girl I've ever known. I'll find a way to treat you better. I swear there's no one out there like you. You teach me to be better. My talk is cheap, keep asking what I do. I'll fly you to the moon and hope I'll see you soon. I'll find a way to treat you better. No problem, I'll do whatever. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want,